thank you for joining us. My name is William Burnett with Picture the Homeless, and we're out here this evening to put pressure on City Council, particularly on Christine Quinn, the Council Speaker, to place our legislation, Intro 48, back onto the agenda. For those of you that have been following this, Picture the Homeless has put together legislation that was designed to require the City of New York to do an annual census of vacant property throughout the 5 boroughs. And we've worked over a number of years to get this legislation passed. In the beginning, folks in City Council, or the lawyers who advised City Council, had some problems with the breadth of our legislation, and so we worked together with lawyers and with council members to fine-tune the legislation and make it something that could pass and that wouldn't raise constitutional issues. Today, Intro 48 does nothing more than ask for a count, an annual count of buildings. And of course, it doesn't in and of itself make any particular demands on the folks who own the buildings, the developers, the landlords who own the buildings. But what it does do is make transparent how many buildings are being warehoused in New York City, and will hopefully make transparent why they're being warehoused. Of course, as folks know, with real estate investment in New York City, it's primarily speculative. And we can understand Mayor Michael Bloomberg, with his finance background, why he would prefer a speculative approach to housing. And of course, that's his approach to affordable housing. If you studied his original housing plan and the current affordable housing plan, both plans rely entirely on speculative markets to bring affordable housing back into New York, with a little bit of incentive, but mostly speculation. And we, the citizens of New York, and particularly the homeless citizens of New York, are suggesting that it's time the government step up to the plate and enact policies which will bring real affordable housing onto the market, and not just speculate and hope that the market will make it happen. But in order for that to happen, we need to know the breadth of the problem, and we can't do that without a count. So Intro 48, which we want City Council to pass, will demand that count for us, or will require it. And as you know, those of you who followed it, some legislative staff at City Council have decided to hold off on pushing the legislation forward. They're setting it aside. And so we're demanding that Christine Quinn use the power that she has as Speaker of the Council to put that legislation back on the Council's agenda. It has a majority of support of the City Council members, including the majority of the support of the Housing Committee on the City Council. So democratically, with the majority of the elected officials supporting that bill, there's no reason for it to be held up. And we, the citizens of New York, are out here tonight to demand that it not be held up, that our legislative officials do the job that they were elected to do, and put this introduction back on the agenda and get it passed.
Woo!
And so tonight we're going to take a tour of Christine Quinn's district. We're going to look at some of the abandoned buildings in her own district. So hopefully folks can see where Christine Quinn's district has a problem, and maybe she would be a little more assertive at demanding this count take place.